the American League. We're going to start in the American League East. I'm going to give you the rundown of team and record. Yankees, 88-74. Rays, 86-76. Orioles, 85-77. Blue Jays, 84-78. Red Sox, 81-81. Like, they pull out a 500 season. What stands out in this AL East to y'all? Like, I need to know what stands out to you guys before I voice my opinion, because there's something glaring here that I'm all, is it just me?
Do we all need new beer? Because I feel like we're all going to drink.
We
Yeah.
all do
Yeah, I
need
have a
new
lot
beer,
of-
but we can't leave at the same time.
Okay,
So,
I'll go first.
okay, you go
I'll
first.
tell you what I think.
Okay.
The number one most glaringly obvious thing is that the Orioles are definitely winning at least 90 games.
Okay. Do they end up third in the AL?
No, I think they win the AL East. And honestly, I don't know. I've heard everybody saying, oh, the Yankees are underrated. I think they're overrated, but maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being an emotional fan. I think the Orioles win 88 games, absolute minimum. And that's if they have really bad luck. And I think my overall prediction is that there's no way that the standings are that close. That's what,
Okay.
81 and 88. That was the 7-game
Yes.
difference. Not a chance. The Red Sox are going to be way lower, and the Orioles are going to be way higher.
Okay. I like it.
Tom?
I like it. Tom?
So I grabbed 2 beers for the American League because I feel like we're going to need them. I believe that Kelsey is 100% right. When we talked about the Rockies, we were basically talking about the Boston Red Sox in the AL. They're going to be a 64-win team, something like that.
Shots fired, Tom.
They are not good. This division is top heavy. The Baltimore Orioles are a 90-win baseball team.
Yes.
They're my dark horse to win the American League. The talent is amazing. They have so many resources to go get more talent. Like at the trade deadline, who's going to stop Baltimore from getting whatever the hell they want?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be like, oh, you want prospects? We got fucking prospects. Oh, you need somewhere to send a contract? We can do that too. We're not paying anybody. The Baltimore Orioles frighten the flip out of me. And I don't know how they don't win 92 games, 93 games. Mm-hmm. The Yankees, they're got all this stuff stressing them out, whether it's pitching problems because some of them are good, some of them are bad, Rodon, or Cole, who's injured. Then we've got Soto. Everybody's always going to hit 50 homers. And I don't think he's going to be that good. I don't know why it is. I don't. And I mean, Tampa always is there. They figure it out. I feel like the Blue Jays will win the series here, but I feel like it's Baltimore and everybody else.
Yep.
Okay. Well, so then let's go team by team and we will flesh it out. That was not the right terminology. Sorry, guys. So the Yankees, the 88, apparently, according to Fangraphs, 88 win Yankees. They did some moves this season. So the offseason was won by the Yankees, maybe. I don't know. They got Juan Soto from the Padres. Mm-hmm. They also got Alex Verdugo from the Boston Red Sox. They got Trent Grisham, that's apparently going to play in center field. Carlos Rodon is going to maybe have a bounce back season. They signed Marcus Stroman. I don't know what you guys are thinking playing Aaron Judge in center field all day, every day. Like, the fact that this is what Yankee fans want blows my mind.
It's because it's what Judge wants. I really think that's it. They hear him saying that's what he wants. So, and he is their golden boy of the whole world. Like, he is the Taylor Swift of these fans. He can do no wrong.
But then I want to bubble wrap him. I don't even like the fucking Yankees, and I want to bubble wrap Aaron Judge. Okay, so there's no fucking way that you're going to sit here and tell me that Aaron Judge, that already has some sort of like stomach oblique issue, you cannot sit there and tell me that ailing toe, some sort of stomach malady, Aaron Judge is going to play center field for the New York Yankees every fucking day. Just, it's not going to fucking happen, people. All right. Apparently, Stanton hit 43 home runs in this spring training game that happened tonight. I'm kidding when I say 43. I want to say he hit like 4.
Really?
Or at least 3. Yes.
That is the one thing that I actually, and again, I'm sure this is a heart thing. I love G, and I would love to see him have a bounce back year and Yankees fans to get the hell off of his back. But I agree very much with what Tom said. I don't think Juan Soto is going to disappoint per se. I mean, he will, because he's not going to hit 50 home runs. I think he'll have a slightly above average season like he did last year.
Okay, well,
and G came in underweight. He dropped like 15 or 20 pounds. G is the one guy that's probably going to ball out and it's going to get lost because the season's going to suck. And they're going to just be like, well, the Yankees suck. And G is going to be the one dude like putting them all on his back. And I feel for the guy because he took all the shit when they were good, but he struggled. And now he's going to go out and ball and everybody's going to act, well, what does it matter if the team stinks? And it's just, I would trade him. I feel like G has been
There's
the one
nobody
dude
that's going to take on that contract.
But maybe
there's nobody.
Maybe if they own a certain part of it, maybe, just maybe. Who knows? But to your point, Susie, they are short a starting pitcher even with a healthy Garrett Cole. And that is the main reason. I think there's no way they're underrated. That's their biggest sore spot right now.
Yeah. I don't think I hurt Garrett Cole at the beginning of the season. I mean, they were teetering on the edge to begin with a healthy Garrett Cole, and if Rodon could come back, and if Nestor could be Nasty Nestor, and if Clark Schmidt could be Clark Schmidt. So that's a big lot of ifs. And now that Garrett Cole is down, your opening day starter here is Nestor Cortez. Marcus Stroman, we'll see what Marcus Stroman does. I want to say that maybe Marcus Stroman balls out just as a big fuck you to Yankee fans. And just as I told y'all, fucking told y'all, but nobody wanted to listen to me. I don't know if I trust Nestor Cortez as, I don't know, Carlos Rodon. What are we doing here? Are you going to bounce back? I hope you bounce back because you were nasty in San Francisco. But you don't know. You don't fucking know. There's a lot of ifs.
Too many.
DJ LeMahieu was hurt again.
Stays that way.
And so,
and Stroman was the worst signing the Yankees could absolutely make because you got to believe he's going to have one bad start somewhere where he just gets rocked. It's what he does. And Yankee fans hated him to begin with. So what do you think? They're going to boo him off that mound and then he's going to block everybody that he unblocked on Twitter. And then it's going to be back to the same thing where they're back at war again. And then he's going to hear it when he's in the game. Every time he gives up a run, it's going to get booed. And it's just going to be a whole show.
I don't know. I need to read off this starting rotation now. Okay. Nestor Cortez as the 1. Fangraphs has Nestor Cortez as the 1. And Carlos Rodon is the 2. Okay. Marcus Stroman as the 3. Clark Schmidt as the 4. And Clayton Beeter as the 5. Okay. You signed Luke Weaver. I don't know what you thought you were going to do with Luke Weaver, but everywhere that he's gone last season, I think he played for 4 teams last season. He started with the Reds and then went to the Mariners and then ended up with the Yankees. Maybe they can fix him. I don't know, but
not as a starter. He got lit up so hard as a starter.
Cannot be a starter. Cannot be a starter. He needs to be a reliever. Jason Dominguez, I guess, is going to come back sooner than they had expected. So that will be hopefully a big boon to them.
Where does he play then? Does he
center field, baby? Center field. Like he is their center fielder. If he's healthy enough to be able to play out there, he will probably come back. And my guess is he hits first before he'll be cleared to hit. And I mean, that's, I guess, up to where they're at and where their needs lie if they bring him up to just hit before he can play in the outfield. But he is their center fielder as soon as he's ready for it.
Yankee fans, if you're in the chat, I need answers. Why are you carrying 3 catchers? They have Jose Trevino, Austin Wells, and Ben Rortvet. I feel like Kelsey. Rortvet. Words are hard. While you guys talk about that, if there's a chat, if you guys can answer that, I'm going to go get more drinks so that words like Rortvet are going to be easier for me. So talk amongst yourselves and see if we can find out why there's 3 catchers.
I know Trevino's the main catcher, but he's built like a friggin' tank. And they showed pictures of this guy. He's probably juicing, maybe, I don't know, but he hits a ton. So maybe they keep him to DH. He's the guy every once in a blue moon. That's the only reason you carry 3 catchers is to use that guy at some point to put him somewhere else.
If you have a catcher who can hit specifically.
Mm-hmm. But I can't imagine. I've seen some Yankee fans on Twitter and they're just done. They're like,
yes,
it's over.
That's what I also don't like about, I know, again, it's easy to pinpoint fan bases for certain things. So I'm not saying other fan bases definitely do this, but the Yankees fans got to be some of the worst in terms of, throwing away their season before it's even started. It's calm the fuck down. You have so many things to be excited about, even if your team doesn't make the playoffs. Just, God, what a horrible mental place to live in that must be.
Listen, it's because the Astros have beaten them all of the ways from here to Sunday into all of the years. Okay?
No,
really.
It's not that. It's the fact that they've been the most dominant franchise since the beginning of time. They operate under the pretense that we're supposed to be a dominant franchise every year. And if they can't see themselves winning the World Series day one,
they're done. Mm-hmm.
Spring training. We'll see you next season. It's World Series or bust for them, regardless of what their roster looks like. And it's a terrible place to live, like you said.
Yeah.
But that's the expectation.
It's interesting. So where in the AL East do the Yankees fall? What, 2nd, 3rd, 4th?
3rd.
I think 3rd. I wouldn't be shocked if they got a wild card spot, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if they didn't. And to your point, Tom, the Cardinals are the other most winningest franchise in the postseason outside of the Yankees. So I can relate to that expectation, that level of expectation. But there's a difference between expecting your team to be relatively competitive and just giving over to the nature of the game of baseball, that there is 162 for a reason, that there are only so many things that are in our control. And that's part of what, as painful as it is, that we love about it, Yankees fans. So get on board, come on over. You got to be a baseball fan first and foremost. And part of being a baseball fan is knowing that no matter how much money you spend, no matter how stacked your lineup is, no matter how big the thighs are on all the guys on your team, it doesn't guarantee you anything. And you still have to enjoy game after game, day after day.
I don't know. If I never hear 27 fucking rings ever again, it will be too fucking soon. Okay? It will be too fucking soon. All I need to know is that the last time y'all won a ring was before Baseball Susie. Before
Yeah.
Baseball Susie.
Yeah.
Okay? So just miss me with that shit. And the people that are saying like the 27 rings, motherfuckers, I'm pretty sure you were in diapers. Okay? Did you even know who the fuck? Did you even know what baseball was? Did you even know what a baseball was? Like at that age? Stop. Just stop. And it cracks me up when they say this. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna, on the inside, I'm gonna be that person that's gonna be like, okay, name me the last winning World Series roster. If you can do that, then you can tell me 27 rings. But if you cannot tell me that fucking roster, miss me with that.
There is a group that because it was 2009, there is a group, but there is also a huge group that were not on the planet when the last time they won that ring.
Yeah.
And it's just blowing my mind that you get these people, they're like, oh yeah, 27 rings, man. Y'all are right there with the Cowboys, the Lakers, that whole that group.
I'm still mind boggled. That is a whole thing. Kelsey, you're also just a baseball girly, so maybe you also don't know this. There's a whole contingent of people that apparently this is their thing. They like the Yankees, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Dallas Cowboys as like their sport trifecta.
Just because they win the most? That's so lame. And also, like, the Cowboys don't win anymore either, so move along.
And they'll tell you about all their rings too.
My dad is a Dallas Cowboys fan because he was born in Dallas. He has a reason. But that's the other thing that like drives me nuts is people who change their allegiance or pick their allegiance exclusively because they want to root for a winning team. Like, I get it if you're a Rockies fan or an A's fan and you have serious issues with the way that the organization is run and you don't want to support the owners 100%, but that's different than just, there are so many people that are Yankees fans because it's like a cool pop culture thing to do. So I know there are plenty of Yankees fans that aren't like that. God, I'm going to lose so many followers because I have a lot of Yankees followers. I know you're not like that, guys.
Punching air right now.
I only have a couple of them, so I'm not hurting.
It's not the Yankee fans that I interact with like on a daily that I actually know.
Exactly.
It's not
I'm not
those
talking about
people.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the other people. And I realize that I sound facetious because it's the tone, but I promise people I'm not. Like there are at least 5 Yankee fans. That's a lot of Yankee fans, people that I actually consider friends. Like I could name them and be like, oh yeah, no, they're not bad.
But I see them retweeting and calling other Yankees fans out on that. I'm like, these are the people in your fan base. Yikes.
So, but we just spent like 43 minutes talking about the Yankees and we're going to move on. So we're going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles because this is a young, fun team. I love them. One, because they are orange. And that was really how I was going to pick who I started to root for as a baseball team. Like when I started liking baseball. So it just was great that like the Astros ended up being
I like them.
Orange. Legitimately. So it was either the Baltimore Orioles or the New York Mets because it wasn't going to be the Giants. It was going to be either one of those two. But it just so happened that the Astros were orange. And I was like, okay, well, it works. So, but regardless, the Baltimore Orioles are fucking fun as shit. And you cannot sit there and tell me that watching the Baltimore Orioles is not a fun experience. I need to go to Camden Yards and sit in the fucking bird bath area. What kind of marketing team do y'all have down there that you're like, you know what, this is what we're going to do? The players are going to spit the water onto the field. So now we are just going to have someone in swim trunks. That is going to be their job. As soon as anybody hits an extra base hit, everybody gets soaked. Genius. I fucking love it. I realize that has nothing to do with the actual team, but it's really fun. Okay. If you've not watched a game, you should do it. I'm also super obsessed with Camden Yards batting eye. Why are words so hard for me tonight? Is it because I've had the alcohols? I think it is. Batter's eye. There we go. The batter's eye in Camden. The Astros play phenomenally well there. And I'm just saying that maybe, just maybe, if we at Minute Maid changed it to look more like Camden Yards, maybe we could win a fucking home game. I'm gonna just put that out there. Anyhow, back to the Orioles. So I need you guys to know how many young guys they have in their system that are so good that they could probably be starters on the majority of teams right now. Jackson Holiday is the name that you guys know, but is not the name that has been tearing the cover off the fucking ball in spring training. God. Guys, I promise
Spring break.
not all the episodes are like this. Yeah,
Woo!
exactly. Jackson Holiday has played his way onto the major league roster. However, the name that you guys need to really worry about is Colton Cowser.
Yeah.
Colton Cowser has been tearing the fucking cover off of the ball, and they still have more guys that are like, I'm here too. Can I play? No, you cannot. We don't have any space for you because we have Anthony Santander in right. We have Cedric Mullins in center field. In left field, they have Austin Hayes. Okay. So Jackson Holiday apparently is going to be their second base. Gunnar Henderson is just phenomenal. I really didn't want him to be rookie of the year, but he earned it. Whatever. Catcher of the century, Adley Rutschman. Is that record still hold for them?
Yeah.
The whole since
Never
Adley
been
has come up,
swept.
they've never been swept.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Oh yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
That is absolutely
That's pretty
ridiculous.
cool.
So they have James McCann as the backup catcher, Ramon Urias as second infield, and then Jorge Mateo against right-handers, Ryan O'Hearn at first base for lefty bats, and then like I said, Colton Cowser has been there, has played his way onto the major league roster. We hope, anyways. Then they got Corbin Burns, and then we got some news that Kyle Bradish went down. Apparently, feeling good though, feeling good. I really hope that he can come back because I need to see the Orioles with a really good pitching rotation, and I need the people who don't know about the Orioles to not sleep on the name Grayson Rodriguez. He came up last season, sucked. He went back down, figured out his fastball, came back up, and then was lights out. He's young. Dean Kramer is there as well. Tyler Wells and Cole Irvin. Cole Irvin apparently looks really good this spring. I think he's one of the ones that went to Tread and figured some stuff out. So that whole starting rotation, I think, is scary. Not going to lie. My only worry for this team is their closer.
I knew it.
I do not trust Craig Kimbrell as far as I can fucking throw him.
Oh, he's feeling good though.
He is.
I do want to mention, have you seen Dean Kramer's hair recently? It is amazing. It is so beautiful. And it's the only time I've ever seen a man with like legitimately long hair. And I've been like, do not cut that. Don't you dare. It is so pretty. I had no idea that he was even on my list of like best flows in baseball, but he's number one right now.
Interesting.
Off the top of
That
my head.
whole
I'm gonna
team's
have to-
got locks, right?
look.
Gunner, I mean, yeah.
Maybe he was inspired by his teammates to just really let it loose and go for it. But listen, I would love to see Craig Kimbrell return to the Kimbrell of yore. I wonder if he's still using Sweet Child of Mine as his song. I think maybe if not, he needs to bring it back because that was really when he was the potential Hall of Famer Craig Kimbrell that we know and love.
Craig Kimbrell was
When
a
Craig Kimbrell
monster
was
at
good.
one point. Yes. But I mean, this team is so deep. Like when that's the stuff you're talking about, they're going to score 1 billion runs. They tear the cover
It
off the
matter a
ball.
lot less.
And it's like last year, the knock on them was their rotation. I think Corbin Burns helps that. I think their bullpen is still going to be really good. Guinea Cano's still there. I mean, I think they've got enough to deal with Kimbrell or whatever the case may be. You look at this team as a whole and you feel like they're the team that's doing this number. And now they've got new ownership that's talking about spending money. It was like, doesn't matter how much young talent they have, they're never going to be able to pay for them. And they're just going to trade them off or whatever. Not anymore. Now that's a team that I think if you don't get them in the next 2 years, you're not going to get them. They're going to be the team to beat every year.
Again, I love the Orioles. Orange is my color. They are sneaky, so good. If you don't, you're just a hater. So chat, if you agree, if you disagree, put it in the comments because I would love to see that. But we're gonna move on and talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays are the Rays. Like they're just the most ridiculous arm factory ever, and they just bring up guys, and I don't understand where you came from and how you are taking pitchers that are being defayed from other teams and then turning them around into sub-2 ERA pitchers, but good for you. Love that. So the shortstop situation has been cleared up. Jose Caballero will be your shortstop.
Okay.
If you don't know who Jose Caballero is, you haven't watched Mariners baseball because legitimately Jose Caballero and Jose Siri, I don't know who has more flash and pizzazz. Between the two of them, that you want to talk about like big, I don't want to say prima donnas because that's not the right vibe I'm giving out, but like just big personalities. These
Machismo.
two in a room. Machismo, yes. That I can't wait to see what the vibe between those two are in the dugout. So you know they have Randy Rosarena still out there in left. Brandon Lowe. I always get that mixed up. Is it Lowe?
I think it's Low.
I think it's Josh Lowe.
Brandon Lau. I think you're right. Yeah.
Brandon Lau is at second. Big Yandy Diaz is at first. Jonathan Miranda is their DH. Isak Paredes at third. Richie Palacios, right field. Jose Siri in center. Jose
Is
Caballero
Richie's
as
gonna
their
start? You think Richie's gonna start for them?
according to the projected opening day roster
Oh,
via
yes.
Fangraphs.
Okay.
Renee Pinto as their catcher, and then their bench is Curtis Mead, Ahmed Rosario, and Harold Ramirez. I would say that's a decent little bench there.
Yeah.
And their starting rotation: Zach Eflin, Aaron Savale, Zach Littell, Ryan Pepio, Tyler Alexander. Ryan Pepio they got from the Dodgers in that trade for Glass now, and the fact that he's just going to slot right in as like the 4, I'm all, oh, okay, look at you, Ryan Pepio. Just that kind of kills me, but whatever. I can now like you even more because you are a Ray and not a Dodger. So hooray! They also got our guy from the Astros, Phil Maton. Also, Chris Davinsky should be a familiar name to Astros fans. Pete Fairbanks is still going to be their closer. Jason Adam, Colin Boucher, Phil Maton, Sean Armstrong, Garrett Clevenger. All of these arms, you're all, what? And then if they go down, guess what? They have another no-name arm that they're just going to fucking spin the ball, and you're just, okay. And then they just always end up winning 89, 88, 90 games every year. Every fucking year. So can I read you who's their pitchers that are on the IL? Their starting pitchers that are on the IL? Shane Boz, Taj Bradley, Shane McClanahan, Drew Rasmussen, and Jeffrey Springs. That's a
Straight dealers, all of them.
That's a dirty lineup. That yikes. Yikes.
And I think they get a couple of them back towards the end of the season.
See, Shane Boz had TJ in 22, so I would assume so. Taj Bradley is just out with strained pectoral. I don't know how long those take to heal because obviously McClanahan had Tommy John in August of 23. Drew Rasmussen had the internal brace July 23. Jeffrey Springs had TJ April of 23. So I don't know if they're going to, maybe Jeffrey Springs at the end.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Since we're talking about injuries, I do have an update on the bruised lung. My brother says
please.
that it is blunt force trauma is how it happens. And it is, I was like, so like, how did that happen to a baseball player? And he says it's probably most likely that he got hit, like something like being hit with a baseball in the chest.
Oof.
So
okay.
Comebacker.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
We got some straight medical advice there.
So there was a couple of AAA people that are probably going to make the roster at some point this season. We just don't know when. So just be on the lookout for Junior Caminero and Oslevis Basabe. That was very hard. And so just know those names. Be familiar with those names when they come up at some point in time in the season, because I think they will probably be there. If Jose Caballero doesn't work out, Basabe will probably come up as shortstop. Junior Caminero plays third. I want to say he plays shortstop as well. So, well, we shall see what happens with the Rays. Toronto Blue Jays. Have we heard anything about Kevin Gausman? Do we know what's happening with Kevin Gausman?
No.
Chat, do you guys know?
I'll Google for any
that makes me sad. So they signed IKF. They re-signed Kevin Kiermaier. Maybe because Kevin Kiermaier is the hottest baseball player alive, and that's why they re-signed him. Gave him a $10 million contract to play center field when Dalton Varsho is a better center fielder, but that's okay. So they signed Justin Turner. I think they signed Justin Turner for the vibes. Jose Barrios is their opening day pitcher because Kevin Gausman is out.
Yes.
He threw a sim game today for 36 pitches, and it said it felt good.
So it sounds like he'll miss opening day, but hopefully not much more than that. That's good.
I love that. Davis Schneider, Ernie Clement is their bench. Apparently, they're rocking Kevin Biggio at second.
Okay. Give him another shot out there.
Will you have a bounce back year? Don't know. If you're on audio only, I am doing some weird shrugging motion. Okay, I'm like legitimately the shruggy emoji.
Would you rather have, I feel like this is maybe a dumb question, but in a different time, this was a very valid question. Would you rather have Alejandro Kirk or Wilson Contreras as your primary catcher?
Are we talking about this day and age? Right now?
I guess so, yeah, we have to, right?
Right now, Wilson Contreras.
Because, yeah, I just asked.
If you had asked me in 2022, I was going to take Alejandro Kirk.
But that's the thing. And that's, you really, things don't ever really go as planned. Definitely not always. But yes, Cardinals fans were like crazed to trade for Alejandro Kirk, and especially those who were not thrilled with the Wilson Contreras signing. But yeah, now everybody's singing a different tune.
Now Wilson Contreras can say Nanny Boo. He can do the sing-songy dance, okay? See, this is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite Yankee fans. Aaron, you missed the shit talk about the Yankees. Sorry, you missed it. I'm upset that you missed the shit talk, Aaron. Where were you? That's upsetting. Cool. Love that. You'll go to the Mets lives, but you won't come to mine. I see how you are, Aaron. Anyhow, so I guess the big question for the chat too, does Vladdy have a bounce back year, or does the curse of the cover get him?
I've got another question that goes along
You
with the
cannot
same
answer
line.
the question with a question, Tom. Them's the rules.
Well, I'm helping answer the question with a question. So I play Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a little bit of gambling thing. They have the over under.
We don't need any gambling scandals here.
Show
No
paying off
scandals.
more debt
No,
too.
maybe he bet on it. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. They have the over under on Vladdy for the season as 164 and a half hits. Do you think he gets more or less? I think he gets more than 164 and a half hits.
Yeah, I think so too. I'd take the over.
So for me, I think he does have a bounce back year.
See, when I'm saying bounce back year, I'm thinking like 2019 Vladdy with juiced balls.
Are you only
So-
measuring in home runs, or what are we talking?
No, but for some reason, when I think Vladdy, I'm thinking power hitter,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like I need Vladdy to be hitting bombs, and that
that
wasn't
worked?
him.
Oh.
But even when he wasn't hitting bombs, he was just striking the fuck out.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that he's just going to hit me a bunch of singles, what are we doing? I don't think he's going to hit me a bunch of singles. Like I'm not calling him the next Luis Ariz. Don't come for me, people. Okay.
So let me ask
I'm
you
just
this:
saying.
if he bats 280 and has 170 hits, but he only has 25 bombs, is that a bad season or is that a good season? What's our rubric?
I think for him, it's a bad season. I think for anybody else, it would be a fine season. But I
Right.
think the expectations for Vladdy, I think, are a little bit higher. I don't know,
Yeah.
if, be it the show cover, be it Bloodline, be it that, I mean, he was part of the Young Baby Jays that apparently was going to be a fucking movie, and all I got was a trailer. Okay, and maybe not even a really good trailer. It pieced together and it got all the good parts of the movie all in the trailer, and then like you see the movie and you're all, what the fuck is that? That's not anything like the trailer. That's what I felt like that season was.
That's fair.
I agree with Bad Luck Brian here in the chat. I want to know what kind of bad luck you have, Brian, but hopefully it's not as a Vladdy fan, because I do agree. I think that he will have a higher home run total for sure. And that what you're saying, Susie, is that's just who we expect him to be that is who he is as a hitter. Right. So yeah, I don't think by any means you could say if he had the season that you put out there, Tom, that would be a bad season by any means, but that's not Vladdy G. But I do think, I don't think that he was like a flash in the pan by any means. So I'm looking for the 35 to 40 homers this year. Good call, Brian.
Okay, all I'm saying is give me the 2019 juice balls. That's all I'm asking for, people.
Only for Vladdy.
No, for everybody.
Oh, okay.
All right, for everybody. Listen, it's a contract year for Alex Bergman.
Leaders.
Okay. Listen, you're a Cardinals fan, ma'am. You can't be saying shit. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, so
Exactly.
all right. So I mean, do we even talk about the Red Sox? I don't know. Red Sox fans, are you?
There's going to
in
be plenty
chat?
of Red Sox coverage, so we hear. So
I don't know what they're covering. Tell me.
exactly.
Somebody tell me that I'm wrong. Like, I can't see this team being competitive. I feel 64 is the ceiling.
Mhm.
I feel like they're just going to be historically bad.
Mhm.
Who's their opening day starter? It's Bello or whoever.
Who had
I
like almost a
mean,
5 ERA last season? Yeah.
I can't understand if that's your opening day pitcher.
It's Nick Pivetta, Cutter Crawford, both of whom may or may not stick in a starting lineup. Tanner Houck, Garrett Whitlock. Like, it's not good. It's not good.
Where does Baseball Reference get, or that's what we're using, right? Baseball Reference is Fangraphs getting these wins from. That division is not an easy division at all. When you talk about the other teams we named, who are they beating?
Right.
I don't know who they're beating. I'm a little shocked though, because now Chris Sale is dealing for the Braves, and Boston fans are just like, "What the fuck, Chris Sale? We gave you
You
all
knew
the
that.
money. We were here. We were
destroyed a whole
we were here
clubhouse.
through all of the bad times, and now you're going to be good for the fucking Braves."
The
I don't
writing
know.
was on the wall with that one. That's just
well.
the way it was going to go.
So maybe Masataka Yoshida takes a step up. I don't know.
I do think, they might have a couple guys that are fun to watch. Mario.
Younger guys. Apparently, they're not going to do anything this season. Apparently, they got to wait until 25 to maybe even make some noise. Their owner just really wants to play with the golf team and the soccer team. I don't know. I don't do any of the other sports, but all I know is that he's just putting money not into the Red Sox.
Well, no, that's not true. They just paid Rafi Devers all that money.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, because if they did not pay Rafi Devers, the people would mutiny. The fans would literally mutiny. Okay, there would be riots in the fucking streets. There's no way.
Not to get all heady in the business sense here, but and this is me. I'm laughing as I'm starting to say this, because this is me assuming that people who have a shitload of money are like good business people, which is just not always true. But if there is any like business 101 going on with the Red Sox ownership, they're not looking at, I've heard a lot of people saying, well, they don't care because the soccer team and the golf or whatever is making them money. That you don't look at the wins of one business to compensate for the losses of another.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the case, but it is very confusing. I think they are the most misleading and confuddling, if that's a word, team
I
in
don't know what
baseball
the
right
what the
now.
fuck this Netflix documentary is going to be about.
Mm-mm.
I feel
I
like they're stuck between trying to tear it down to bare bones and starting over and staying relevant because they're the Boston fucking Red Sox.
That's
And
probably
I think
really
that's the name on the jersey where they like, we have to defend this
Mhm.
to an extent. And it's so then they're making all these irrational moves and the product isn't going to reflect the money that they spent. It's just going to be really bad.
yeah. So your 2024 Boston Red Sox people, I don't know. And just so you guys know, we won't be spending this much time on the AL Central because it's the AL
The AL
Central, guys.
Central.
I'm so sorry. So I will tell you though, who is going to win the AL Central, and that is the Minnesota Twins. Don't you know? With 84 wins. 84 wins. 84-78 takes the AL Central. The Guardians and the Tigers apparently tie 79-83. The Royals with a 76-86 record, and the White Sox with a 67-95 record. What stands out to you in the Central there,
You go first.
besides the ridiculous winning loss totals?
I was about to say the White Sox are too high. You can't win 67 games with an 083 Martín Maldonado batting as your catcher. Like,
Apparently, he is tearing the cover off the ball, and he looks much slimmer going into White Sox camp, and he's hitting like 329. And he sent fucking Corey Lee packing again. Corey Lee cannot fucking stay at catcher. That was not, we'll get to the White Sox, but that was not what I was going to point out here. What I was going to point out here was the fact that the Royals were so fucking low.
Yeah,
Like
I
all the
agree.
moves the Royals made, and they don't at least hit 500? Like
Yeah,
they have an actual rotation now.
I agree with Tom that I think the White Sox will very likely be the worst team in baseball this year. Over 100 losses,
Hold on.
easy.
So they're taking that mantle from the A's?
Yes, I think
Ooh, okay.
it will be worse than the A's. I think the A's have some younger guys that at least have more to play for. But
I will drink to that.
yeah, I
don't
also think the
disagree.
Royals will be better than 76 wins. But I also think the Tigers could
Tigers are
win the
making noise.
division. So I do think the Twins, the Tigers, and the Royals will be closer than projected.
I think the reason the Royals are where they are is because somebody has to see it. They just have to see it. That's a team where on paper you look at them like, okay, they got some nice pieces. I like them, but I have to see it. And until they actually win the games, they're just going to be in the middle somewhere. I do love your Tigers take. I think that AJ Hinch will get those guys right over time. I think they probably need one more season, and it's the AL Central.
So
This has Fangraphs is predicting the Twins win the AL Central with 84 games and the Cardinals win the NL Central with 83. Do you think the AL Central is won with more or fewer games than the NL?
Fewer.
Yeah.
I like the teams in the NL Central better than the AL Central.
I think, like, as an NL Central fan, I know the Central divisions, I know where we lie, but I've always held myself to that standard. But at least we're not the AL Central. So that hurts me. I'm offended, Fangraphs. I gotta take a big drink for that one.
That's so funny. Okay, so let me
dare
tell
they?
you about the Twins. The Twins got into the playoffs for the first time in, I don't know, a bajillion years, apparently. And I stupidly thought that since the Twins got into the playoffs, that they were like, oh, let's do shit now. They did not. The RSN money was up in the air and payroll was going to be down. So they were like, let's not make any moves. Bad Luck Brian says that he doesn't think that people should sleep on the Royals. We will get there, Brian. But yes, I agree with you. The Twins, I think, are going to be, I don't want to say sneaky good, but I think they're going to be better than people think. I think Carlos Correa will be better. Byron Buxton, if they have a full, healthy season of Byron Buxton, and I think we've been saying this for years, in center field, that's fun, and that's going to be good. Kelsey's cat agrees with me. Edward Julian is their second baseman, and apparently he is amazing and tearing the cover off the ball. Royce Lewis, also another guy that you probably should keep in the back of your brain as the third baseman. Max Kepler is the hottest right field guy that you will ever see. Like Max Kepler, absolutely. Carlos Santana is their first baseman. I totally forgot that they signed Carlos Santana as their first baseman. That's just that was not on my radar. I totally forgot about that. Matt Wallner is their left fielder. Ryan Jeffers as their catcher. And Ryan Jeffers just took over. They signed Christian Vasquez to a 2-year contract, I want to say, and he's now their backup. He went to Driveline or Tread in the offseason, one of those, and tried to redo his swing. Congrats. They're expecting a new baby. So maybe he'll get some of that dad mojo energy back. I don't know, but Ryan Jeffers just took over that catching job. And I think Christian Vasquez kind of is cool. That's fine. My knees hurt. You can be the starting catcher. I'm going to just sit over here and collect a paycheck for a little bit, right? And then I'll go hit. Their starting rotation, though, is sneaky good. And it's not names that you know besides Pablo Lopez. Okay?
Mhm.
Unless you watch this team day in, day out, it's not names that you're going to recognize. Joe Ryan as their 2. That's the guy that looks like the guy from Stranger Things. Bailey Ober. He's ginormous. He's 6'7", 6'8".
Oh, yeah.
Chris Paddock and Louis Varland. And Twins are out. Twins fans are out on Louis Varland. There is like a big contingent of I am hardcore Louis Varland fans, and there's a big contingent of oh my god, get Louis Varland the fuck off my team. So good to know it's not just the Astros that have the crazy fan bases. So their bullpen is one of the scariest to me. The bullpens because I'm all what are we doing here? Why? Yuan Duran? I didn't realize Yuan Duran is now on the IL. What? Huh. That was the main reason he was the scariest bullpen guy with a strained oblique, and that happened. That just happened. Oy. Oh no.
That's what happens when you throw
That-
hard.
Steel bar with a strained hamstring. So their current bullpen as it lies is Griffin Jax as their closer, Brock Stewart as their 8th inning guy, Jorge Alcala, Steven Okert, Justin Topa, Josh Staumont, Cody Thunderburk. My eyes are going, guys, and Jay Jackson. Now, I need you guys to know, if you are a fan of one team, and that is your main team, but you know the relief pitchers for the other team, you are in deep, okay? I
Yeah.
am not in deep with the Minnesota Twins. I cannot tell you the majority of these guys. I've heard of Griffin Jax. I've heard of Brock Stewart. Those are the only 2 guys that I've heard of. Besides Yuan Duran, who now is hurt. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but Yuan Duran is nasty. Maybe, just maybe, if the Twins aren't doing anything, maybe they'll trade somebody. They're not going to trade Yuan Duran, but let's pipe dream of mine. Cool, Twins, you win the AL Central. Gardos, what are we doing? We just gave Jose Ramirez a contract that is way below retail value and just not signing anyone else.
So J-Ram is a huge fan of Cleveland.
Mhm.
Like the city, the area, everything. He gave them a hometown discount because he didn't want to leave.
Mhm.
He was happy where he was. He did not care that he could make all the money elsewhere. And that was just a cool move on J-Ram's part. The rest of it, I feel like, is they're just waiting for the kids to grow up. Because once
Yeah.
they do, then they'll be set. But
Okay.
I do think that Josh Naylor we know is fun to watch. I do think Bo Naylor, who is his brother, how cool is it that they're both going to play on the same Major League roster at the same time? I think Bo Naylor is going to be a more integral piece of that team this year.
I just am truly indebted to the Guardians organization forever and ever for bringing my catcher, Yainer Diaz, to the Astros. Thank you so much for liking Bo Naylor over Yainer Diaz, because I will take Yainer all day, every day. That's not a slight on you, Bo. That's how much I love Yainer Diaz. Why is Miles Straw your center fielder? Guardian fans, I need to know these
because
things.
they paid such a heavy price for him, they have to get their money's worth.
They have to keep him.
I think the Guardians outfield hit the least combined home runs of any Major League outfield last season. Do you think that will be the same this upcoming season?
Absolutely. Do you know
So
why? Because in
feel like we're
the
not even
projected home
buffers.
runs, for Miles Straw, 2. 2
As an outfielder. Yeah.
It's tough.
as an out. Okay,
Center field.
he's gonna catch all the balls with his mitts. God, he is going to run down everything everywhere in the outfield. Okay, that's what you're paying him for. You were paying for the wheels. Apparently, when his speed is gone, though, because I don't know what's happening out there. I want to say that they have a center fielder coming up, though, that is supposed to be really good. And you're like, what? But we just paid Miles Straw, so we have to play him. But they have some Gold Glove defense in Will Brennan. That's who I was talking about. Left-handed bat, drafted in the 8th round, and apparently has a 707 OPS. He's projected to have a 707 OPS, but apparently he is amazing. I feel so badly because Miles Straw is a gem, but Miles Straw, what? Come on now. I feel so bad. But between him and Steven Kwan, that is the lightest hitting outfield ever. Who plays the right field? Ramon Laureano. I forgot that they got Ramon Laureano 2 seasons ago. Ramon Laureano can run into a field.
You know who they could really use? Known power hitter.
The fact that Mauricio Dubon is going to hit more home runs than fucking...
Talking about the Gardos, though, a true test of the Tampa Bay Rays superpowers with pitching is Savale, because he pitched for the Gardos and he was just a guy. He was not very good. If he goes to Tampa and deals, you'll know something's up, because he was there forever and wasn't very good. So if he shows up in Tampa...
Well, but that's the other thing. Like, I want to say that the Guardians also are a pitching factory, but like in a different kind of way. because
just
their
draft
starting
really
rotation
good.
is Shane Bieber, Tristan McKenzie, Tanner Bybee, Logan Allen, and Carlos Carrasco is your 5. I'm very sorry, Guardians, but Mets fans are cracking up over here. If that rotation can go, I need Shane Bieber and Tanner Bybee to be really good because I drafted both of them on my fantasy team. So I need both of them to be very good. Okay. I'm putting that out into the ether. They signed Austin Hedges in the offseason, World Series champion Austin Hedges. I don't want to like Austin Hedges, but I love Austin Hedges. The fact that he is even worse of a bat than Miles Straw.
That's saying something.
They didn't sign him for that. They signed him to be that backup catcher, be that veteran presence, and to help Bo Naylor, right? And he knows his role. He ain't trying to be the starting catcher. I don't understand how the Guardians and the Kansas City Royals have the same fucking record. Kansas City went out and made moves. They have an actual starting rotation now. Like, and a good one, like a sneaky kind of good one if Brady Singer can figure the fuck out. Cole Reagans. Okay, this is just a slight on the Texas Rangers. I need Cole Reagans to say Nanny Boo to the Rangers because he's just dealing sneaky Cy Young pick, guys. That's my sneaky Cy Young pick is Cole Reagans. Don't give me
American
that
League
look,
Cy
Tom.
Young.
Yes. I said
A
sneaky.
lot of that's really sneaky. No one's seeing that coming.
Okay. I'm not saying that I'm putting money on this. I'm just saying that, like,
I
all right,
see you, Susie. I don't disagree at all.
I think the kid's
So-
good. I agree with you. I think he's really good. I think the Rangers are gonna absolutely hate that trade. Like they may already, but Cy Young though, saying something.
You cannot tell me that rotation of the Rangers right now that they would not covet Cole Reagans
Oh,
in that
absolutely.
rotation right now.
Absolutely.
They went out and they signed Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha. So now their 1, 2, 3 are actual real pitchers, as opposed to the paper airplanes that they had out there last season.
I think Michael
Brady
Wacha
Singer.
is also just a sleeper pick for anyone's rotation, and I'm surprised that one of the bigger market teams didn't pick him up and be happy to pay him what the Royals paid him, if not more.
No.
Yeah. If Brady Singer can figure it out, I mean, they still have Jordan Lyles as their 5. That just cracks me up that Jordan Lyles is their 5. Is Zach Greinke going to just hang out in the bullpen somewhere or just walk around the stadium and just randomly give out hitting tips? I need to know these things.
He can do whatever he wants. He's goated, as the kids say.
This is true. But I think the fact that Vinny Pasquantino is going to be back, I think lineup-wise, I think I like this lineup over the Guardians lineup. I mean, your center fielder is Kyle Isbell. Your right fielder is Hunter Renfroe. Your left fielder is MJ Melendez. So you got some speed, you got some pop. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. got that big extension. I think he's going to go off. You got Salvi Perez, who apparently is like 32, but has been in the league for 43 years. Nick Prado is their DH. I think they're going to be sneaky good. Sneaky better, at least. I think they're going to be better than the Guardians. What do y'all think?
I feel like you're right. I think the reason that Fangraphs has them where they are is they just have to see it. I think in that division, we talked about the rotation for the Twins. We talked about the rotation for the Gardos. Those teams seem to have a tendency to figure it out and just compete with each other for that division. And I think they just figure that it's going to roll the same way it's done the last 2 or 3 years, where those two went back and forth and somebody figured it out and got it done.
Yeah, I think it's because they are the Royals. That's the best answer that I have for that. And they did it more strategically. They didn't go out and sign a couple of the biggest free agent names, but they didn't need to because they signed enough of the middle guys to make for a better balanced team that could very realistically be much more competitive than last year.
The other question is who's their closer?
Will Smith.
Yeah. Probably. Most likely.
That's probably not good.
Cole Reagans is going 9. Okay. Cole Reagans is going 9. James MacArthur and Will Smith.
Yeah.
John Schreiber as their setup guy. Nick Anderson, Chris Stratton, Josh Taylor, Sam Long, and Matt Sauer. Again, if you Royals fans, where are you? I recognize exactly one of those names. Technically 2. I recognize John Schreiber's name. Oh, and I guess Chris Stratton. But for not being very good. Royals fans, how are we feeling about your bullpen? I don't know. Cole Reagans is going 9. Okay. That's all I care about.
He's going to need to win that Cy Young you're talking about.
Okay. He's going to carry the Royals on his fucking back. All right. Just you hush. Do we need to talk about the White Sox? This makes me so sad.
Luis Robert to the Stros. Let's go.
Oh,
where the fuck are we going to put Luis Robert? Where the
I
fuck
don't care. That's such a fit. I hate
Center
it.
field.
I mean, I don't hate it that much. It's fine. But yeah, that's.
And we're done. We're done here. It's over with.
It's begging to be done.
Okay. All right. White Sox Dylan Cease to the Padres, and in return, they
officially waived the white flag on the 2024 season.
All the way.
Now it's just out and proudly waving.
I mean, if you're in a full fucking rebuild, then just tear it the fuck down. What are we doing? You still got some good pieces. So are you just waiting till the trade deadline to up the ante? Is that what they're doing? Okay.
Mhm.
So Andrew Benintendi is their left field. The highest ever contract given to any White Sox player ever, Andrew Benintendi. Not the name that you would think. Yohan Moncada at third, Luis Robert Jr. at center, Eloy Jimenez at DH, Andrew Vaughn as your first baseman, Paul DeYoung, shortstop,
Woo-hoo,
Dominic
shout out.
Fletcher, right fielder, Martín Maldonado, fucker, catcher, and Nicky Lopez at second base. I feel badly for Nicky Lopez because he went from the Royals to then he got just the teeniest, tiniest taste of what goodness could be on the Braves. And then they said, fuck you. You got to get out. And then he had to go to the White Sox. And now I'm
He
all
balled
well,
out
shit.
too in Atlanta
Right?
too. He played good.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I mean, at least on the Royals, you had some fucking vibes. I don't know what the fuck you got in Chicago. Maybe Martín Maldonado cleans it up. Hopefully, I don't know. That's what he was known for the Astros, right? Like he works with the pitchers really well. He was a clubhouse team leader. That's literally what every Astro player fucking told all of the reporters. I don't know how much money Martín Maldonado gave them to say that. I don't know. All I'm saying is that this is what has been said. What if Martín Maldonado does clean up the vibes? Paul DeYoung apparently has very good vibes
Up guy.
with the vibes, and maybe Nicky Lopez is like, guys, I got to play better. Come on, let's go. Yohan Moncada stays healthy, maybe. Eloy Jimenez also stays healthy. Maybe they take up yoga and they don't have strained quads and
I know
hamstrings.
some good
and
yoga studios in the Chicago area. Hit me up, White Sox. We can go to yoga together.
Let's do it.
Also, I'm available as like a vibes coach for the right
They're-
price. I'm here.
They're
in Chicago.
they're gonna need it. They're gonna need it because
Can you speak Spanish?
No, but I really need to get on that. I really wish I could.
oh,
I downloaded.
let's learn
an app.
Spanish together, Kels.
I downloaded an app and I am embarrassed to say I have barely used it, but I really want to learn Spanish.
Craig says stuffed spinach pizza is best. And I have so many fucking questions now
That actually sounds good
this
to me.
pod is going to go so much longer because I need
Answer.
that. Yes, what you said.
Where do we
Answers
get
the
this?
question.
I want to try it. Stuffed spinach pizza sounds really good to me, actually.
So apparently after the pod, I will Google where
They're all
and
over
what
the
stuffed
place.
spinach pizza
Come on over.
is because apparently that is more interesting than talking about the White Sox. Oh, and with that, we're gonna wrap up the AL Central because that is
That's all there is to know. That is the most exciting
off
thing
the
about the White Sox this season is I will say the
Absolutely.
White Sox have better Chicago dogs at guaranteed rate than the Cubs do at Wrigleyville. I said it.
What?
Mic
What
drop.
is a Chicago dog?
Wow.
What's a Chicago dog? There is
I can't
it's
understand
like an actual
that.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
it is. I'm not gonna remember everything that's on it, but there's like banana peppers, a whole pickle, tomatoes, mustard. Maybe there's the big thing is there's basically everything but ketchup that you could ever want on it. Relish,
Yeah.
no ketchup.
Hold on. Y'all motherfuckers are out here putting tomatoes on your hot dogs?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The fuck are we doing?
Texas is probably the worst about hot dogs. Everywhere else, they dress them up with all kinds of condiments.
Well, I'm sorry. I would
Okay.
pick Tex-Mex any day over a hot dog, so it's
Amen to
okay,
that.
Texas. I don't need you to be good at hot dogs.
Yeah, yeah. We
Pizza.
got barbecue and Tex-Mex. Come get
Yeah.
that.
I love that the end of the Chicago White Sox just evolved into a food. I love that. We're gonna come back on track and we're gonna talk about the AL West. AL West, guys. So the AL West, this is how it's projected. The motherfucking Astros are going to take the AL West according to Fangraphs roster resources. That's not me. That's Fangraphs. 90 wins and 72 losses. I have so many words for Fangraphs. We're gonna say them in a minute. The Mariners are the second spot with 86 and 76. The World Series reigning champion motherfucking Rangers. Always fuck the Rangers. 82 and 80. Angels 78 and 84. And the Athletics 73 and 89.
Better than the Sox.
Better than the Sox. Absolutely. Words. I have so many words for this right now. We won 90 games last season with a hurt Jose Altuve that didn't play for 4 months, hurt Yordan Alvarez that was out, the biggest of black holes of Martín fucking Maldonado. We had a roving DH out there of no-name motherfuckers, and we
They have names. Stop
eked.
that. They're great catchers.
Bly
Jerry.
Madrid?
John Singleton.
Bly
and Bly Madrid.
Madrid? No.
They have names. Say their names.
People in the chat are like, who the fuck is Bly Madrid? Except for maybe Mets fans, because Bly Madrid is now on the Mets, apparently. But no one
Say
is
their
going to know
names.
Bly Madrid. Come on now. We eked our way into 90 wins with a fucking carousel of outfielders. So you cannot tell me, you cannot convince me. There's not an amount of money in the fucking world that is going to convince me that the subtraction of Martín Maldonado from this lineup we're not going to just run into at least 2 more wins, at least. Okay, but with a full season of Altuve, a full season of Jordan, not a fucking outfield carousel out there, because apparently Jake Myers has just been tapped as our fucking center fielder. You cannot convince me. Cannot convince me that we will not win more than 90 games. That's all there is to it. Is there a tiny bit of panic and anxiety in my soul because of our starting rotation? Not gonna lie to you, people, because I am an honest podcaster, and it's just a seedling of anxiety and panic over in this region. But that's okay. I have faith. I have faith in our boys. Fromber is going to figure it the fuck out. CJ came in 15 pounds lighter. I think he has now realized the workload. Last season was his first real season as a big boy starter. I think he's going to figure it out. Hunter Brown, I think he's going to step up. JP France has just been consistent over there. And Astros fans, we gave JP France a lot of shit. But he was, I'm not going to say like really good, but he was a great fifth every 5 days. He was a great innings eater, okay? I'm hoping, I don't think it's going to happen, because I think Brandon Bielak will probably come up because he doesn't have options left. But I was hoping that Ronald Blanco would insert himself. Now that Jose Urquidy is down with forearm,
Tightness.
is it a forearm strain? I thought it was a strain. I thought that was like a thing. No?
I think it started as tightness and became strain. Correct.
So, but it's not a tear or anything like that. Garcia and McCullers are gone. Garcia, I think Garcia is going to come back. Glass elbow McCullers, whenever he would like to make his appearance, I'm going to just count it as a lucky penny. I think Luis Garcia will be back, and I think he will be good. We added Josh Hader, big piece in our rotation. The arguably best postseason closer has now just been moved from the closing position to the setup guy, the most expensive setup guy on earth, apparently.
Yes.
And then we still have Brian Abreu, who is going to be the 7th inning guy. If we can score some fucking runs, maybe not at home, maybe all at the away parks. If we get to the 7th inning, it is over for everybody. That's all I'm saying.
Kelsey?
Wait, did I miss something? Josh Hader is the setup guy?
No, he's the closer.
Okay,
He's
so you're
confirmed
saying
the
Ryan Presley.
Presley is the setup guy. Yes.
Okay.
Second most expensive setup guy.
I have no thoughts against the Astros, but I do think the Rangers are going to be better than the Mariners and quite possibly get into the playoffs again.
The only reason I would say no to that is because of that rotation. Because we'll
Yes,
get into
but
that
their
starting
lineup
rotation.
is good enough to make up for it. That's the reason I don't think it will matter. And the second half of the season, they're clearly just banking on being able to.
Do you think that they're just gonna? I mean, they're gonna have to put up 6, 7, 8 runs, because that bullpen ain't doing shit either. That bullpen is scary for the Rangers. That's the only reason why I would think that the Mariners have any sort of chance, excuse me, to be second in this division.
They won enough
Because
games
of
like
that.
that last season, and they didn't have to. So if they can do it again, I mean, that's why I think they can. They had one of the best offenses in the league all season long, best run differential by far most of the season. And that's why I think that they're comfortable trying to get away with it, at least for the first half of the season.
I'm just very salty that Bruce Bochy, as an older manager, said, "Here, rookie Evan Carter, even though I have veterans on the bench, I know that you play better, and I know that my team has a better chance of winning with you in my lineup. So here, let's just put you directly in the fucking lineup. Oh, you're slotted way far down in the lineup. Let's move you up into a better spot so that you have a chance of doing some damage."
Well,
I'm
I
not
said
salty
this
at all.
then, and I'll say it again. I think the biggest difference between the Rangers and the Astros in the postseason, specifically, I guess, in the way that they were managed, is when they were talking to Dusty Baker and Bruce Bochy pregame. I explicitly remember Dusty Baker saying, "We know what we're doing day in and day out. It's gotten us this far, and we are going to go in and play this game exactly the same way that we have all season long, just like it's any other game." And Bruce Bochy, on the complete opposite end of things, not hearing what Dusty Baker had said, "This isn't like any other game. We got to this point to play this game here today, and we're going to take it pitch by pitch, inning by inning, and react accordingly. And we believe we have the pieces to do that." Like, they just had complete different mental approaches from exactly what they said verbatim. And that ended up being the difference in maybe who won the World Series, honestly.
I'm not salty about it at all.
So listen, I agree with Susie. I think the Astros should win at least 2 more games. I understand Fangraphs because there are so many questions in the rotation. There are middle inning questions. Rafael Montero has been really bad. I love what Garcia's saying about Bennett Sousa. I think he can be very good. I'll be really interested to see how they fill out their bullpen because, yes, Those back three guys, electric, elite guys, no question. They can't pitch 162. So there needs to be 3 or 4 other guys that are doing that too. I wonder what version of Luis Garcia we get back. I wonder what version of Lance McCullers we get back. But the rotation has a potential to be very scary. I think the lineup is going to be phenomenal. I think you've got Bregman in a contract year who's going to hit. I think you got Tucker who wants to prove that the end of the season he was tired.
He was tired, people.
You got
112 RBIs. Okay. I need you to understand Tucker was fucking tired. And if I hear anybody slandering Kyle Tucker again, I'm going to beat y'all with a wet noodle. AL leading RBI leader. Stop it.
Yeah. When we talk about Yainer and we gush about Yainer for people that aren't Astros fans, you need to understand that Yainer Diaz had Adley Rutschman numbers in less games. Like
way less games.
If he'd have played the games, his numbers would have dominated Adley Rutschman's numbers. And that's considered to be one of the best catchers in baseball. He probably wins Rookie of the Year.
If Yainer Diaz got actual playing time, what the front office wanted to do was to actually play Yainer Diaz as the starting catcher, we would have had a big race between Gunnar Henderson and Yainer Diaz for Rookie of the Year.
That is a bummer. I do believe that.
And with really as shell-shocked and as quote-unquote poor our farm system is, like we lost draft picks that we could have used that extra compensatory pick that we wouldn't have because you know why? He was not on any rookie lists. So we would not have won that, but it still would have been super awesome.
So with the depth of the lineup, when you start looking at what Yainer and his team, one of the team leaders in OPS at home, somewhere where they struggle to score runs, Susie banging the drum all season long, one of the highest OPSs at home. I think they have potential to put up a ton of runs. It's just going to be, can they pitch enough to be able to translate that into wins? And I mean, as Astros fans, I feel really confident that they can, just for the simple fact that you've got guys that are proven. Bregman's proven. He's in a contract here. That adds like 10 RBIs and 5 home runs for no other reason than he knows it's a contract year. Like his body language is totally different. He's trying to go get the bag. So when you have a guy like that who's batting behind Yordan Alvarez, I think now the potential lineup is Tuve, Yordan, Bregman, Tucker. It's going to be fun offensively. It's just whether the rotation can do it. And I'm looking forward to it. Start tomorrow.
That sounds like exactly what I just said about the Rangers, though, right?
You're 100% right. I didn't talk about the Rangers. The one thing I'll say is different. A lot of those guys had career years. A lot of those guys are super young. They were way over their skis. It's not like Bregman or Yordan or Tuve that have done this proven year after year. If you're going to tell me Leody Taveras is going to hit 300 in the 9-hole again, I don't buy that. Maybe.
We'll get to the Rangers lineup as well. But you want to talk about injuries, like how we were last season? That's how they're starting off this season, the Rangers. It'll be interesting to see what happens over there. In my opinion, our main middle relievers should involve Souza, Taylor Scott, and Machinsky. I don't know about Machinsky. That's the only one that I'm iffy on, Brian. But Souza and Taylor Scott has just come on and has wowed me. That was one of those sneaky names that you're like, who the fuck is Taylor Scott? I don't think he's given up a run yet, has he? Astro Wharf Craig, look for a vastly improved Jose Abreu. Absolutely. And do you know why I think he's going to be vastly improved? I think that Joe Espada will say, sir, you're getting up there in age. You are better when you are more well-rested. It was like Yuli. It was like playoff Yuli 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago. Yuli was so much better when he got rest. And we were beating that drum back then. Play Trey Mancini. For the love of God, get Yuli off of his feet. Get Jose Abreu off of his feet. Okay? Let him DH. Some of the days. I don't know who the fuck we're going to put over in first. Well, that's a whole other sticking point. But I think with some rest, Jose Abreu is going to be so much better.
I don't think it's a rest thing with Abreu. I thought really after thinking about it throughout the season, I feel like he put a ton of pressure on himself to come from Chicago, to come to this team that had World Series aspirations, coming from a place that couldn't sniff that. He tried to be like this guy. He built it up. He put a ton of pressure on himself to perform. Like, hey, I did all this work in Chicago. I need to be this dude for the Astros. And I think he struggled with that. That's why you saw eventually as the season wore on, he got comfortable. And towards the end of the season, he was a vastly different player. So I think he comes in this season without that pressure to perform, just go in there and be the guy that he was in Chicago.
Like Brian says, I think Taylor Scott has only allowed 2 runs, 1 earned this spring so far. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
One name I'd add to the bullpen is Seth Martinez.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. And Seth Martinez, If you've watched any sort of Astros ball over the past season, you recognize Seth Martinez. He's come in and he has been that kind of swing man that Christian Javier was a couple seasons ago. He's done some spot starts. He's been our long guy. I think he also will make the bullpen. AL West, I'm not just saying this because I love the Astros. AL West still runs through Houston. I'm not as confident saying that the American League runs through Houston as I was in past years, but I will confidently say that the AL West runs through Houston. Mariners, with your shoes on your head, made some moves, and I don't necessarily love all the moves that the Mariners made, but it's the Mariners and it rains a lot there. So sometimes, I don't know, maybe the mold is like affecting people's brain cells. I don't know. But that starting rotation, I don't want to say that I like it, but I have to because that starting rotation is fucking gross. Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Bryce Miller, and Brian Wu. Those two end guys are young. Last season was their first season. I think they're going to step up and I think have another repeat season. So we'll see. They signed Mitch Garver from the Rangers as the backup catcher / DH. They re-signed Mitch Haniger. Sebi Zavala as well will be the actual backup catcher, I think. Ty France, I think, is going to be that. I don't want to say X factor, but I think the team goes as Ty France and Julio Rodriguez go, if that makes any sense at all. I think Ty France had a really down year last year, and maybe he picks it up, maybe he doesn't. I mean, I hope for my sake that, and the Astros sake, he doesn't, but whatever. Mariners fans, if you were in the chat, I don't know why you would be in the chat, but if you are, let me know. How comfortable are you with Josh Rojas as your third baseman and Dominic Canzone as your left fielder? Do you feel good about that? I don't know if you do or not. Because I know if that was on my team, I would not feel great. Josh Rojas came over from the D-backs. He's got some speed. Will he strike out less than Eugenio Suarez? Probably. But he's definitely not going to hit you as many homers.
Right.
JP Crawford figured it out last season. So he got much better. But can the rest of that lineup do anything? They signed Jorge Blanco from the Twins as your second baseman. For picking lineups, strictly on lineups, I would take the Rangers lineup over the Mariners lineup. So if we could marry the Mariners starting rotation with the Rangers lineup, the position players, that's a gross team.
Yeah, the Mariners will be one of those teams that, like, when you look at their run differential, they might look like their record should be better, but I just don't think they have the offense to even be second. That's why I think the Rangers will be closer to the Astros at the end of 162.
So I guess it just depends on if the Mariners can hit enough or if the pitchers can basically just pitch their asses off. They traded away Paul Sewald at the middle of the season last season. Andres Munoz is now their closer. They signed Ryan Stanek. That was like a shot to the heart when I read that. I loved Ryan Stanek. I didn't love how many people he walked, but I loved Ryan Stanek. And it kills me that he's now with the Mariners. Kind of.
I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know. That hurts. It hurts my heart. Gabe Spire, Trent Thornton, Taylor Saucedo, Tyson Miller, Cody Bolton, Austin Voth. I don't know the rest of those besides Andres Munoz and Ryan Stanek. I think Gabe Spire too. So that whole bullpen that is the projected bullpen because Matt Brash is on the IL with elbow inflammation. Surprise! The guy with the dirtiest slider ever has elbow inflammation. Tell me something I don't know. That I feel really bad though because Matt Brash it was just dirty. Jackson Kowar also. Jackson Kowar got Tommy John. Yes, he did. He's one of the ones that came over from the trade with Atlanta this past season. And then Gregory Santos also has a strained lat. So I don't know. Again, I think the pitching does overcome. I think the pitchers are going to hold it off. It's going to be a lot of 1-0 games. Very low scoring games.
For the Mariners? You're talking about the pitching is going to hold it off for them. That bullpen you just read off was awful.
Right.
That didn't inspire confidence at all. The rotation, yes. The bullpen, no. After you read off the Mariners, I'm with Kelsey 110%. There's no way.
They're literally almost the opposite of the Cardinals in my mind, of where the Cardinals have a very sus starting rotation, but could be a pretty solid bullpen and probably, should be like top 10 offense like all season long easily. The Mariners are exactly the opposite. They have the starting pitchers that every team is salivating over and super sus bullpen and mediocre offense on a very good day.
Okay, I'll give that to you.
So how many wins did it predict that they would have?
It was like 89, right?
86.
For the Mariners? 86.
For the Mariners, 86.
Okay, my prediction is that the Cardinals and the Mariners are going to end with identical records.
84?
I don't know what it'll be. Somewhere between victory and 85.
Okay.
84
But
sounds good.
But 84
all right.
was that the number that Fangraphs had, or they had 83?
83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But the 84
Um,
win Arizona Diamondbacks, baby. World Series.
there you go. The Rangers have 82. Rangers are going to be 2 games over 500. I just Petty Susie just really loves the fact that this is like the reigning World Series champion and no one gives a fuck about them. No one is saying that they're going to do shit. No one is scared of them. And it makes me laugh. The Petty Susie makes me laugh. But it's the Rangers, so the Petty Susie really comes out. A lot of these guys are on the IL. And that makes me sad, but not really, because I'm petty. So Nathaniel Lowe and Corey Seager are both on the IL. Nathaniel Lowe has a strained oblique. Corey Seager had that sports hernia. And Bruce Bochy is being like not
KG.
sketchy about, but he hasn't said if Corey Seager will be on the opening day roster. We shall see what happens over there, but you don't want to rush the strain. You don't want to rush that at all. Same thing with the strained oblique. So their lineup as it is has Wyatt Langford breaking with the team. If you don't know who Wyatt Langford is, it sucks that the Rangers have him, because imagine an even better Evan Carter. Like last season, Evan Carter just tearing the cover off the ball, always getting those extra base hits. Imagine Evan Carter with more power. And now you have Wyatt Langford. So now that there's 2 of them in the fucking lineup, and you're all, I don't like that. So they'll have Marcus Semien at second, Evan Carter as left field, Wyatt Langford as their DH. Adolis Garcia, who may or may not have eaten something that makes his head grow. Adolis Garcia in right, Jonah Heim as your catcher, Josh Young as your third baseman, Jared Walsh as your first baseman, because Nathaniel Lowe is out. And then Leody Taveras as your center fielder and Ezekiel Duran as your shortstop, filling in for Corey Seager. Your bench is Andrew Kisner, Justin Foscue, Josh Smith, and Travis Jankowski. Enter Corey Seager. Obviously, that lineup is more scary. Jared Walsh, no, that doesn't scare me. Josh Young played out of his fucking mind. Leody Taveras also played out of his fucking mind. Jonah Heim also played out of his fucking mind. So will all of these guys have the same year that they had last year? Or will they regress?
Duran too. Ezekiel Duran too. He got a
But
lot
Ezekiel
of
Duran didn't really play much last year though, late innings. Right? But like Ryan, talking about the bullpen, outside of Leclerc and Spores, the Rangers don't really have any good bullpen arms. You would be correct.
That's a good
And really and truly, I don't even know if I would put Josh Spores up there. But, on a good day. So Jose Leclerc is your closer. Rangers fans, you cannot be happy that Jose Leclerc is your closer. Like, there's just no way. David Robertson is your co-closer. I feel like David Robertson needs to be on the Cardinals. That's what that's
got
giving
enough of him. Yeah.
Josh Spores, Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates was from Graves. Maybe he can recapture. I don't know. Brock Burke, maybe. But Mark Church, Grant Anderson, and my screen turned off. So Danny Duffy, the non-roster invite from the Dodgers.
I'm a big Nathan Eovaldi girly. Have we seen the best of Eovaldi? Or
well, we've not gotten to the starting rotation just yet.
Sorry.
But do you know who Brock Burke and Mark Church is?
No.
I don't know who these people are. This bullpen is not doing it for me. So now, if you tell me that it's going to be like hockey at spring break, good night, all-star break, and you're just going to do like a full-on line change, and you're going to replace your starting rotation of John Gray and Andrew Heaney and Dane Dunning and Cody Bradford, you could possibly convince me that would be okay, but you're not going to get those guys back right then and there. Like, it's not going to happen. And if they are like the same guy, it's a big if. So your Texas Rangers consist of Nathan Eovaldi, which is literally the only starting pitcher that I am afraid of at all.
He's good.
John Gray, Andrew Heaney, Dane Dunning, and Cody Bradford. Dane Dunning, I apologize. You are half my brethren. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. So when Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer and Tyler Mahle, if all of those can come back on the same timetable, then maybe. Jacob deGrom got TJ June of last year. So
no.
You're not.
I just feel like Jacob deGrom is so freaking irrelevant in my mind because of the fact that he is never going to be healthy. He is like the fanciest car that you own that needs so much maintenance that you can't drive it. It's just not worth it. I'm sorry he is so fucking irrelevant to me in baseball. And I feel bad saying that. I'm sure there's people who will come for me, but it doesn't matter how well you can do anything if you can't do it. And I guess my other hot take is that do you think Max Scherzer makes 10 starts? I don't.
If Max Scherzer makes 5 starts, I will be impressed.
I know he's got like a shoulder thing, right? But it's not TJ.
No,
It's not. It's not.
he had surgery on his back for herniated disc, which again, I'm not an athlete, but all of us probably have at least one, if not multiple herniated discs. Not saying that it wasn't causing him some sort of discomfort. I don't know. I think he was done-ish in 22. To be honest, I was surprised that the Mets gave him what they did and took that chance on him. And I'm not the biggest fan of his personality either, so maybe that's clouding my judgment.
But I mean, if he comes back in July, I think he still makes more than 5
I think he has
starts.
dead arm by August. Like, I just think
Something
Okay.
else will ail him.
Yeah.
If it's
Okay.
not his back, it's going to be his elbow or his shoulder. I don't want to say Max is washed because he was an amazing pitcher. I say was like he's dead. He's not dead. But he's not the
R.I.P.
same. He's not the same pitcher, right? He's not the same pitcher that he was.
If he
when
wasn't
won the
Max
World Series.
Scherzer, I'm sorry, we've seen people say that starters specifically are washed and should not come back for far less than what we have seen from Max Scherzer last season. And injuries aside,
No.
I think
Yeah.
it's if you're goated, of course, you're going to get a different leash length
Yeah.
at the end of your career. But I
You know,
don't know. I feel weird about the way he's milking it a little bit, I guess.
And
I
I
hope y'all are
assume
right.
Ranger
I
fans.
just want to say that. I hope y'all are right. I just feel like the Astro fan in me, he's going to show up in July.
Yeah.
He's going to be friggin' nails for 2 months, and he's going to help them get into the playoffs. And then you're not going to want to see him. And it's like, fucking Max Scherzer. And I hope y'all are right. I really do.
I mean, the baseball fan in me would actually, you never want to see anybody, especially a legend, a Hall of Famer, go out on anything but a high note. So I guess the baseball fan in me, I don't want to see him crash and burn by any means. But I just
mean-
really don't think if there is that return to any close to form of Max Scherzer of yore, it will be 2 months, like you said, like that. 2 months of back to life and burnt out by the postseason.
Tyler Mahle had TJ in May of last year. Again, it's going to take some ramp up to get to where they need to be. And I just don't think.
Don't clip this.
I don't
when
think this
Max
is the.
Scherzer gets like Cy Young votes this season. Okay. This is
Oh,
the
real
goal.
quick. Ezekiel Duran had 406 ABs last year, 112 hits, batted 278 with a 767 OPS. And I say that because do you know how many ABs Yiner got?
Far less.
355.
Far less.
So he was good. He was very good.
Yeah. Okay. So who wins the AL? Who comes out the ALCS champs for 2024? Kels?
I do. I'm not just saying this because I'm not afraid to say what I think. I do think it's the Astros.
So you think it's a rematch of 22 Astros Phillies World Series?
But I think the Phillies win it.
Hurts my heart. But okay.
I thought we were talking about the AL West. How did we get all the way to the World Series?
Because we circled back. She got my pick
Hmm.
for the AL and then paired it with my pick for the NL. I just think the Phillies' time is coming. If it's not this year, it's very soon. I hope before
It's going to
the
have to
Dodgers,
be.
honestly. Yes,
It's going to have to be.
I got this feeling.
What do you mean? How did we get here? We're done talking about the Angels. Angels fans are punching air right now. I'm so sorry, Angels fans.
There's like
we're
two
not-
teams
we're-
we didn't even talk about. Erase them. We don't even care.
The Angels got Ron Washington. We love that for
The-
them.
Wash is a legend. People love Wash.
I actually do the Angels lineup though. Logan O'Hoppe, I was so sad that he got hurt last season and couldn't play like an entire actual full season because I do think that he's going to be very good for them. Noah Shenwell. I don't know how many syllables is supposed to be in his name. Shenwell. I think it's Shenwell. I think he is going to take a step forward. He is I can't believe I'm saying this, a less powerful Mauricio Dubon. He gets on base all of the time, but he always plays. So Mike Trout, I don't know what we're doing, Mike Trout. Which Mike Trout are we going to get? If you can stay healthy, I think it is going to be an amazing season. Again, does Anthony Rendon play 100 games this season?
Based on his comments that he made this offseason, there's no way.
Do you guys not think that Ron Washington is going to just be like either shape up or ship out?
I think he will.
I think that further makes me think maybe he didn't play 50 games. The first time he's got one of those, oh my, whatever hurts. And he's just sitting there. He literally sounds like a dude that could care less if he ever plays another game again.
That makes me so sad because I wish that I had a pinky full of his athletic ability. And that just hurts my heart. Taylor Ward is in left field. Brandon Drury is your DH. Mickey Moniak in right. Logan O'Hoppe as your catcher, like I said, and Zach Neto as short. I think the young guys maybe take a step up.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I hope for Angel fans' sake that happens because I need something to fill that Shohei Ohtani-sized hole in your heart. Does Joe Adele do it for you? Aaron Hicks, maybe? No? I'm sorry, Angels fans. Your rotation, though, on a good day, like when you squint, could do something. It could do something.
From very far away.
Why do you have 3 left-handers, though, is my question.
Why not?
Griffin Canning could be good. Patrick Sandoval, Reed Detmers, Tyler Anderson, and Chase Silseth. I've had 2 5% alcohol beers, and Silseth, very hard to say. Why are there so many left-handers? What are we doing?
Susie.
They're
I
like,
don't think
can
they
you
did.
pitch? Do you
Yeah.
want to be here? Here's the ball.
I like Reed Demers a lot. I know he has struggled in spring and just never really gotten it together, but he's got the stuff. I would love to see him figure it out.
I would love all of these guys to figure it out because
Yeah.
in like brief shining moments,
Mhm.
these guys have been really good.
Mhm.
Patrick Sandoval for 5 innings is
Yeah.
like good, and then he gives up 43 runs in the 6th. Tyler Anderson, we're really hoping that the Dodgers had strained him out, and then and it just didn't happen. Carlos Estevez is their closer. Matt Moore, Jose Soriano, the other Luis Garcia, not our Luis Garcia,
My Luis
Angels
Garcia.
Luis Garcia, Adam Simber, Jose Cisneros, Hunter Strickland, and Jose Suarez. There are 3 Jose's in the bullpen. Jose Soriano, Jose Cisneros, and Jose Suarez. That's going to mess me up for sure. I'm going to be like, wait, which Jose is pitching? Jose S. You're going to have to be a little bit more specific than that, sir.
It's like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Kelsey
That
A.
that bullpen also does not do anything for me. Angels
And that's
fans,
the thing. Even if they do have these 2 or 3 starters that do have good years, it still doesn't make a difference in terms of their win-loss total because of the complete makeup of the team.
it makes me sad. I'm so sorry for Angels fans. That makes me very sad for you. Do I dare say it? Do you think the A's win more games than the Angels this season?
Out of spite, maybe.
I'm not going to say it is completely unrealistic. I would say right off my instinct is no, but I wouldn't be like completely shocked.
Shout out to the 103 people that are here in the chat with us. Apparently, that are watching. You're not chatting, so you're just watching. Apparently, that's fine. A little creepy, but fine. Totally okay.
You're
Say
still
hi.
awake. I'm
Lurking.
hardly still awake. My cat has been screaming at you, Susie.
For
He's like,
hours.
Who is this bitch?
I heard.
Tell her to shut up.
Okay.
Why is she
listen.
keeping you from me?
Hey, I tried to ask who was going to win the American League and just not talk about the last 2 teams.
But Tom,
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about.
Tom is an Angels truther, so we are still here.
Okay.
For you.
Listen. So
We have
we
to
gotta
talk about the A's. It's the last Oakland A's, right?
Is
yes,
it?
yes. I'm rooting for the Bees. That's an actual team in Oakland. It's just not in the MLB. So
Right.
What are you gonna do when they're Las Vegas A's? Being a Las Vegas girl.
They won't be the Las Vegas A's. I don't think they're going to be able to keep the name.
Well,
They
whatever.
shouldn't.
Las Vegas, whatever. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Yeah.
No,
That's a better question.
I don't give a fuck.
What if they're a team full of Asians?
I would give more of a fuck, but way less fucks than about the Astros. So there's my fuckometer.
Hold on.
Fuck
Do
meter.
they
That's not-
overtake the Snakes at that point?
Oh, absolutely not.
Ooh, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
I mean, depends on what kind of Asian. Never mind. Anyways, are the A's?
This
are the
Korea game
A's
is going to start
being-
before we wrap this up. I'm pretty sure.
Well, if Tom would shut the fuck up, are the A's? I have questions.
Poor
No,
Tom. He's said like a third, not even as many words as both of us combined.
Are the A's trying to be the cast-off Giants? This. I need answers. Their rotation consists of Alex Wood, Ross Stripling, J.P. Sears, Paul Blackburn, Joe Boyle. Their position players: Ryan Noda, Zach Geloff, Brent Rooker, Seth Brown, J.D. Davis, Jay Bleday, Shea Langoliers, Estuary,
Ruiz.
Nick Allen. How many Giants did I mention in those names that I said?
More than enough.
Yeah.
Okay, more than what I thought was going to happen.
Well, think
I
about
think
it.
I named at least 3.
They may not even
right?
have to move just going from San Francisco to Oakland.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Like, it makes sense. I had to change my house.
Oh, Aledmus, why are you? Oh, Aledmus has a strained groin for Astros fans that remember. Side note, Abraham Toro was going to play third, and then they signed J.D. Davis, and Abraham Toro was relegated to the bench. So I think that the young kids, Shea Langoliers, I think Estuary Ruiz is going to steal 70 bags because he was hurt for, I want to say at least 6 weeks, not in succession, but like in between. And so I think that messed with his numbers. I think he's going to steal like 70 bags. He's definitely not going to hit 41 home runs though. but he's going to steal you all the bags. Brent Rooker, Zach Geloff, are you going to hit 43 gajillion home runs? Let's hope. Because I really want them to be good. And Shea Langoliers, or as Dallas likes to call him, Shea Bangoliers. I want this team to be good. I want this team to be good because I hate their owner and I love their fans.
Yeah. Out of spite. Absolutely.
And this is
Miguel?
the perfect story for that. Like, do the Netflix on that. Get out of Boston, get to Oakland, show me that.
Miguel Andujar is on this team. I wasn't aware of that fact. I
Yankee
totally missed
legend.
that apparently. This bullpen, Mason Miller is your closer. Mason Miller throws fire. And they tried to start him. So I just want you to know that you're going to see fire at the end of this bullpen. Lucas Erceg, Danny Jimenez, Sean Newcomb, Trevor Gott, Kyle Muller, Michael Kelly, and Mitch Spence. The A's may put up runs, but I don't think that they're going to prevent any. I think they're just going to give all of the runs. Just you get a run, and you get a run, and you get a run. Except for when they play the Astros, in which we will get swept, because that is always what happens.
A's are your kryptonite.
The A's are our daddies. Like the Yankees try. It's the A's. Always. It's a lot closer for the A's and the Angels than what I had anticipated. I'm not going to lie. I thought that win total was going to be farther apart. So
I guess I thought the Angels would do something like at least like signing a Blake Snell, which again, I don't think it makes a difference in terms of them being competitive for the playoffs or not, but that's kind of Artie Moreno's thing, right? I mean, that's why they had a Mike Trout and a Rand. Like he's going to go out and do something to make sure those seats stay filled. But I guess when you have a Mike Trout, that's
all he cares about.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
He absolutely only cares about ticket sales, 100%. And the Angels fandom shows up and shows out. I mean, I don't think they're as bruised about the Ohtani thing in terms of they're not going to not be Angels fans.
This is true.
I think that fandom runs true and runs deep, and Artie Moreno's still going to make a ton of money on ticket sales, and that kind of sucks, but that's why they don't have to be competitive. I don't know to what extent it goes until it gets as bad as the A's situation, but it's not close right now just because the A's situation is so bad.
Yep. Okay, so now that we've talked about the two teams that I just completely forgot about earlier.
Well, now I got to pick again because obviously I think the Angels are going to win the AL now.
Yes, for sure. Well, I mean, like I said, the Oakland Athletics do overcome us. So if they could just back into a spot, it's baseball. Anything can happen. Lucas Erceg may just be it. Lucas Erceg is going to hear this and be like, what the fuck? I never did anything to you, Susie. I'm sorry, Lucas Erceg. I don't mean shots fired at you. I don't even know who you are. You're probably a very nice person.
Yes, it's nothing personal. Okay, so I think Astros Phillies World Series. Tom?
Astros Braves, although the ALCS that's Astros Orioles all orange will be phenomenal.
Oh, wow. We're just all the Yankees are just nowhere to be seen. That's for you, Aaron.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm just being honest. You tell me how that team's beating the Orioles. I'll wait.
Aaron, does this mean Yankees get 28 as in you're not getting the World Series until 2028 or you're getting your 28th ring? Because I find it way more plausible that the Yankees win a World Series in 2028 than you getting a 28th ring now. I wanted to clarify to see what you meant. Just saying. Oh, I think it will be Astros, Orioles as well. However, I think the Yankees and the Orioles are in a bigger dogfight than what people would assume. I think that's going to be closer than... I don't want to say it, damn it. I don't want to give Yankee people any shine. No, I don't want to give the Yankees any love, but I have to. So I think it's going to be Orioles over Yankees, Astros over the Orioles, Braves. They don't have Jorge Soler.
That's all that matters, huh?
Astros Phillies World Series rematch, Stros in 7.
I think the same, Brian, but I think Phillies in 7.
Chas McCormick is going to do some other center field magic trick. Okay,
only
because
left field.
Fuck you. Okay, but apparently we're going to get Luis Robert Jr. And so Luis Robert is just going to be like in center field. So maybe Luis Robert's going to do some fucking.
If Luis Robert Jr. is in center field for the Astros, I don't care who the other team is. You can put all the other teams over there, and it's Astros in 4.
Okay, but like really and truly though, for a while, Chas McCormick's numbers and Luis Roberts' numbers are much more similar than people think. I need you guys to know this.
Tell the front office that.
Okay, listen.
I hope you're right. I got Chas McCormick on my fantasy team, so
great pick.
Your lips to the baseball god's ears.
When he plays, he's really good.
on my fantasy team. And literally everyone in my league was like, why the fuck did you pick Chas McCormick? I'm like, y'all just fucking watch. Because I know ball. That's why, motherfuckers.
Known ball knowers right here.
That should be a shirt. I
Okay,
have
so
the
we have
design
to
in my
do
head.
this again after game 82 or right around game 82. Yeah.
What we know
We
now.
agreed. Yeah.
Let's do it. So, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us for 3 hours and 22 minutes. Golly,
Woo!
103 of you. And the number literally steadily climbed. Shout out you guys because I've never seen 3 numbers in the little eyeball thing ever. So we
need 3
appreciate
of
you guys.
us.
There we go. That's why it was Kelsey and Tom. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you. On the podcast side, don't worry. You do not have to sit through 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours of this. I will actually cut things up and make them more digestible. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTubes. Before I do this, though, tell the people where they can find you, Kelsey, and then Tom.
I am at KBird Tweets. That's KBURD Tweets on Twitter. Twitter forever. You find me there. You find the link tree. You find me everywhere. But yeah, I'll be here with Susie every week. Tom?
At Third Coast Tom on Twitter, not X. I don't know who calls it X. You're wrong if you do
No,
it. On Instagram at TCTom1. And on the PSF app, it is the absolute best place to watch a game. If you're not going to the game, you're hanging out with people like Susie and myself, talking ball throughout the entire game from the comfort of your home, your garage, the gym, wherever the hell you want to be, and watching the game with us. We'll be yelling at the TV with you. Come join us on the PSF app.
You can hear me say things like, I can't wait until they rub the balls up. It's a thing that's going to happen. There's probably going to be drinking games too during the PSF app. There's an actual drinking game, not just the drink if you agree or disagree part. Again, if you guys have not already subscribed to the YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube. We really appreciate all 216 of you, I think. If you have not left a rating or a review on Apple or Spotify, what the fuck are you doing? Please give a 5-star review, okay? Leave a nice rating. Literally, all you have to say is noseball, period, is hysterical, period. That's all you have to say in 4 words, okay, in the review. We really appreciate you guys, again, hanging out with us. If you liked us at all, please share. That's what we do. And I think that's it. And I'm going to hit end stream. Yay, baseball! Hooray! End stream.